Hello, everybody. Welcome to another webinar Wednesday. Today, I have the distinct honor of welcoming my guest, Chris Jordan. He's a mentor, a coach, and a print influencer. And he's going to share with us some really valuable insights on how to define or redefine your value, how to use LinkedIn to stand out, how to build connections that open doors, and so much more. In our rehearsal, we commented, if we get through one of the topics we want to cover, we'll be lucky. There's such a wealth of information. So I want to welcome you, Chris. For those who don't know me, I am Joanne Gore. I will be introducing myself on the next slide, but I am the president and chief strategist here at Joanne Gore Communications. But enough about me. Chris, I was shocked to learn that you were on LinkedIn before I was. I very rarely see a number under 1 million, and we were talking about this just a few minutes ago. You joined in January 2004. I joined in September. In those 9 months, LinkedIn grew from like 140,000 to, well, you'll see my number, basically grew almost 1 million. And then since then, in the 21 years since, now it sits at over 1 billion members and 1 billion interactions monthly. So some really incredible stats. Chris, give us a little bit of yourself. Oh, I love it, Chris, and we're gonna dive into that. For those of you, um, go to the chat. Tell us where you're from, Chris. You're over in the UK. I'm here in Canada, so the dialogue will be interesting as we determine if maybe there's some differentiators between over in Europe versus Canada versus, of course. Our folks here from the States. And right on cue as we start, Milo has started to bark. So I apologize as you hear him barking. He will eventually slow down. So let's go on. Let's please follow Chris at Jordan and Jordan on LinkedIn. All right, next slide. We'll zip through myself. I've already introduced myself. My big thing is you really need to know who you help, how you help, why it matters. And to Chris's point, this is as important whether it's a personal brand, whether it's a product, whether it's a company. You need to know who you're helping and why should they talk to you? Why should they have a conversation with you? Let's just go by. You guys know who I am. Housekeeping. Yeah. Tell us where you're tuning in from today. Your time zone. I'm seeing a few folks from Toronto. Kathy, glad to see you were able to make it. I know you said you can only pop in for a bit, so really glad to have you here. I'm seeing folks from everywhere. I love it. I love it. I love it. Pittsburgh. Hey, Andy. Bridget. Wow. Wow. Bridget, I think she's a buddy. She's a friend of yours, Chris. Awesome. So please, everybody, get ready to participate. I know that both of us like to talk a lot, but we will take pauses and ask you questions too. And of course, any of your burning questions, we've got the JGC team. Sam is on standby. And we've got other members of the team waiting to answer your questions. And of course, at the end, we will cherry pick some of those questions and answer them live. So a replay of the recording, we're always asked, is available on LinkedIn immediately following this broadcast. If you registered, watch it to your heart's content, this one or any of our other past webinars. We've covered a lot of topics LinkedIn related. Now, we do plan on wrapping up in 45 minutes, but we will always go to the top of the hour if there's a conversation and dialogue. So hang tight. We are in for a wild ride. So today we're going to be talking about defining your why, so that you can align your career moves with your goals. Navigating those transitions and overcoming challenges, finding opportunities. I talk about a lot about that in my book, which I promise I won't promote again. Well, I might not promise that, but it's called Thriving in Chaos, Lessons Learned as a Corporate Marketer. And it really is all about change, how to spot the warning signs, how to deal with the change, and then how to overcome the aftermath. So again, a lot of what we're covering today, I actually do talk about. So if you're interested, head on over to Amazon. We're going to talk about how to maximize LinkedIn for visibility. So standing out and attracting the right connections. We're going to talk about the rule of three and how to repurpose content. Well, we're going to try to get through all of these things. I make no promises once we get started. And then, of course, we're going to talk about building a strong network and how to engage with the right people for success. And remember, that all comes back to knowing who the right people are. So we've got some stats, but before we get started on those, I'd love for you to pop into the chat and answer this question for me. How often do you update your LinkedIn profile? And what's one thing you think you could improve on? So while I'm rattling some of these stats off, again, head to the chat, please. How often do you update your LinkedIn profile? And if you're saying, I need to update my profile, that's okay too. And what's one thing you wish you could improve on? So, career transitions by the numbers. Now, I'm guessing that some of these might be more North American focused, but I'd argue they're probably global to some degree. 56% of workers over the age of 50 face long-term unemployment compared to younger job seekers. I mean, let's face it, we've got a huge exiting workforce comprising baby boomers and Gen X. And there are a lot of us, and we are facing these career transitions. Many of us are not ready to leave, but change happens. 68% of professionals considering a career change say that networking is the most effective way to find new opportunities. Chris, would you agree with those stats? It's all about who you know, Chris. I can't tell you. I've worked with a lot of sort of younger professionals, recent grads, as well as, again, all kinds of folks who are transitioning. And I always say, like, you're connected with me. I have like 10,000 connections. Go through my connections. You can see them if you're connected to me. By the way, if you're not connected to me, please connect to me. And go through and let me know who you want me to introduce you to. And of course, I can't promise I know every single one of my connections personally, but I'm happy to make an introduction if I feel and we agree that it's somebody that could help move that needle. So yeah, use your network. So this is the perfect segue. I'm glad you are. I just poked into the chat. I'm seeing a few. David is just saying he never updated my profile until recently. quarterly tweaks, little tweaks. Bridget's doing hers at the moment. Al does it every few months. So, yeah, good to see that folks are updating. As we get started on the conversation, and before I ask Chris my very first burning question, I will ask you, please head to the chat and tell us, just have to answer a yes or a no. Have you ever experienced a career shift? Yes or no? So let's stop the slide sharing. Let's go into Chris and Joe mode. And I am going to start with my very first question for Chris, which is, how can professionals over 50 use digital tools like LinkedIn to stay competitive? I will just add to that, when it's very very similar to the conversation that I have with companies when we're talking about lead gen. And you know we need more leads, we need more leads. Great, then what does a lead look like? How do you know? Oh, I'll know it when I see it. You give me a good lead, I will be able to turn it into business. And if you're hearing this inner voice in your head and you feel that you've said these words, know that you are not alone. I'd say almost everybody uses the exact same language. um, I often say, if I gave you 100 leads tomorrow, how would you choose the top 10? What is that? What's that ideal, like, your your wish list of the ideal customer, employer, partner, whatever that looks like. And then you start to zero in on who fits the mold. And the same is true. The biggest challenge is, once you know who they are, you really, really need to be able to have them understand the value that you will bring to the relationship. How do you help? Why should they hire you, work with you, pay you money, share their innermost secrets with you, become your partner, your best friend? Why? So you have to be able to answer those questions as well, and not make it sound like everybody else who's going to be applying online using AI tools to create the perfect, what they feel is the perfect story. We're going to show you some tips on how to make that your own. So thank you, Chris. Um, all right, I've got so many other questions here. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see people make when trying to rebrand themselves professionally? How do you remember it, Chris? How do you remember the definition of brand? Oh, I think it was Steve Jobs, and if I'm misquoting him or him as the source, I apologize. But this has always stuck with me when I heard it. Brand is what people think about you or say about you when you're not in the room. That's your brand, right? Is it, oh, we trust it, or they're really cheap but they don't last? Whatever that is, that impression, that feeling you get when you look at the logo, that experience that you remember having when somebody reached out to you and you remember it, that's brand. The logo is just the like the physical reminder or the visual cue, but the feelings, the emotions, and that's why I made that comment about ChatGPT, because remember that AI doesn't have emotions. So if you really want to showcase your brand, you have to bring your story, your emotions, and your feelings into the conversation. Otherwise, it's not going to take long. It's already happening. People are already seeing the tells. Oh, they use ChatGPT. Oh, they're lazy. They couldn't bother to write their own stuff. So I'm already seeing that now. So be cautious. Yes, AI and chat and whatever you're using, they're great tools. But unless you add your own personal sense of who you are, you will never ever stand out. In fact, it will end up, in my opinion, being a negative brand experience versus a positive one. Yep. Yeah, I love it. That segues into my next question really well. But I want to, I'm seeing a lot of yeses in the chat. Have you experienced a career shift? So good. So that means we've attracted the right people to this session. So yay for us. Um, there are a couple of things that you touched on, Chris, where, we're talking about everyone submits things online digitally. LinkedIn is a great place to strike up conversations with hiring managers, future coworkers, and really cut through the HR noise and start to be seen and known as a person so that when it is time to submit your resume, again, you have your wish list of 10 companies, and it could be tomorrow, it could be 6 months from now, it could be whenever. But once you've established some relationships with folks within that company, it makes it a lot easier for you to then promote yourself as and the value that you add. So question for Yep, exactly. All right, here's my question for the audience, and then I'm going to get to my question for you, Chris. Um, if you could make one change in your career today, what would it be? So head to the chat. I want you guys to answer that while you're thinking of questions for us. Um, Here's my question for you, Chris. What inspired you to focus on helping professionals navigate career transitions? What inspired you to focus on helping professionals navigate career transitions? That's the dream, right? That's the dream. That's the dream. It's interesting because what I've noticed, and so I'm going to ask you. Do not have to answer. Those of you in the chat, this is a it could be a sensitive question, and you could just answer north or south. But how many here are north of 50 or south of 50? I'm just really curious because I have my suspicions. Um, what I have found that as people get north of 50 and progressively older, the need and desire to help and give back becomes stronger. I don't want to scroll through the whole thing, but I see Matthew said I would be helping others sell better rather than doing it myself. And I'm finding, and again, that's hindsight, that's 2020. You have to be in a position where you have the experience to help others. At the same time, you have to ask for help when you need it. And if you're like me, it's a lot easier for me to help people than ask for help. Um, I recall having a conversation with my sister because she doesn't want to ask for help. And I'm like, or she didn't want to ask to use her friend's pool, who and their friends were away. And they said, you can use the pool whenever you want, but she didn't want to ask. And I'm like, when you use their pool, do you find that it gives them pleasure that they've enabled you, like said yes? And she goes, oh, I know. They love it when I'm over. There's somebody in the pool. I'm like, so why are you afraid to ask when you know it makes them feel good? So if you can turn that sort of talk track in your brain of, if I ask for help, it looks weak, and I look like I don't know what I'm doing, and you get into imposter syndrome and all of that. If you can reframe that into, I'm giving somebody joy by giving them permission to help me. So what you're really doing is for yourself, but you're also doing it for the other person. And when I think about it that way, and I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't know, it makes it a little less painful to actually ask for that help. So, Rob, I'm approaching the ice cap. I don't even want to know what that means, Rob. I'm guessing you're meaning the 60. So, thank you for those who are. I appreciate those of you for chiming in. All of especially those of you who seem to all be north of 50. So, I will raise my hand and say I am north of that as well. Um, Chris, I there you go. Oh, wow. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. I think we have time probably for one more question. Guys, head to the chat for with your questions. I see Rob. I want to just state what Rob was sharing. Age 50 is a very important pivotal point in everyone's career. I agree a bajillion percent. It's important to be ready for change. I agree a bajillion percent. And it is very helpful to have a coach to help. And I agree a bajillion percent. So spot on, Rob. Okay, last question. Oh, there's so many. Um, how can someone determine whether they should pivot, stay in their industry, or start something new? So this presumes that there's some level of choice involved. Um, Before you answer that question, I'm going to ask what might be a sensitive question of everybody here. But how many of you were forced into a pivot versus willingly pivoted? So again, you can head to the chat, forced, willingly, and please share your stories, because I think that's why we're all here. Personally, um, I've been forced and pivoted probably more times than most. Having worked in the tech sector for 30 plus years, um, I think I changed brands more than I changed socks or hairstyles. Um, but every experience taught me something, whether it was good or bad. I learned from every skill, from every opportunity, and I bring all of that to what I do today. And that's helping folks that, whether they are also pivoting, looking to exit their businesses, grow their businesses, transition, change careers. I have those conversations all the time. So, Chris, what was the question I asked you? How can someone determine whether they should pivot, stay in their industry, or start something new? Tell us about that. Tell us about that. That's fascinating. That mirror mirror conversation is. So there's a couple things that spoke to me in what you said, and there's probably a few things rolling through people's heads, but here's the number one takeaway I just got from all of that, and it's more of a question than a statement. North of 50, when you're facing this transition, and I'm going to ask you, do you believe the majority ultimately take the consultant slash own business entrepreneurial path? Or is there room to still be an employee? Because let's face it, not everybody wants to run their own business. They want to go, they want to do their job, they want to, whatever that job may happen to be, and I don't want to say like just phone it in, like they're passionate and love what they do, but they want nothing to do with the back office, or or vice versa. If they're front office people, they don't want to deal with the back. If they're manufacturing and back office, they want nothing to do with the front of the house. So not everybody is going to say, okay, I just got laid off or furloughed or whatever it is. I'm of this age group, so the only thing left for me is to go out on my own. And I don't believe that that's the case. So share with us a little bit of how. I mean, I think we know what questions we need to ask ourselves around whether or not we have what it takes to go solo versus work for somebody, have a boss. How many people are you seeing, Chris, north of 50? What would you say is the percentage? Let's go from there. Yeah. I agree. Yep. Love it. Thank you, Chris. Um, let's head back to wrapping up. We could chat about this for days. There's so many good conversations going on in the chat. I'm hoping that we can export all of that because I would love to read through them. Rob's been contributing. David, I'm seeing so many great conversations happening here. This is what warms my heart. All right, let's talk about the key takeaways and next steps. So we have to make LinkedIn work for you. Align your career transitions with your personal and professional goals. Focus on meaningful, high impact connections. Know who those are. Know who you help. Know how you help. Know why it matters, what value you bring. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. If you have your CV and you turn it into a story, what else can you do with that? Can you create a video clip? Can you um, start doing a personal newsletter? There's a lot of ways that you can take what you've already done and reuse it to help you get to where you want to go. And that's what will differentiate you from everybody else who's applying for any particular job. You are your own case study. So, the same way companies need case studies um, of the impact, you need your own case study. Here's how I dealt with. Uh, uh, I was at a trade show and FedEx lost our shipment, and we had to pull an all nighter, spend over $5,000, and recreate everything, but we got it done because we had no choice. That nobody else can say that except me. And yes, that's a true story in my book, by the way. A strong personal brand opens doors to new opportunities. When people see you, they, what is that feeling they get? Is this somebody you can trust? Is this somebody that you need to sort of become a clamshell? Don't say a word because they're a gossip monger. What is it about this person that you want them in your network? How are you going to help them? How are they going to help you? How can you help each other? And again, success in career transitions comes from being proactive and being flexible. As Chris said, we can't do anything about the time that's passed. They always say the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is now. So start today. Update your LinkedIn, engage with your network, engage with folks who have the networks that you need access to. Come to webinars like this and meet new people. Join some of the groups on LinkedIn that are active. JGC, we've got a LinkedIn profile scorecard. Please scan the QR code. Use it to take a score of your own profile and see where you need some help, and where you're knocking it out of the park. An optimized profile will increase your visibility and credibility. It will make your activity count because it will help build those relationships and strategic engagements. And of course, you can use it to help spark those conversations that target the right people. There are other ways that you can, there's other tools here. Use AI. We all need a professional headshot. If the headshot you're using is from your high school yearbook and you're north of 50, might be time for a change. Again, scan the QR code. This is one that I've used personally. A lot of folks in my network have used this as well. Super simple. I did it when I was in bed with a fever and the flu. So if I can manage to do it, anybody can do it. Upload 5 selfies, $40 US. You get 100 selfies to choose from. So again, great tool there. And, reach out to Chris, reach out to JGC. We help your business do more business. We'll connect you with the right buyers at the right time, in the right place, with the right story. We are award winning. We won the 2024 Social Media Support Company for Canada. So very proud of the team. I'm not on LinkedIn as long as Chris, but I've been here a while. So, again, please reach out to, we are here to help. Everybody talks about the industries and the verticals. I want to talk about the people that we help. We help owners and founders and entrepreneurs and salespeople and business development people and marketers and consultants. Anybody who recognizes the value in LinkedIn as a network to grow their own community, whether it's job seeking, whether it's business related, whether you're looking for partners, we can help. Our next, yeah, Oh, you can do it for, or you can ask ChatGPT to do it for you. For those of you who don't know, SWOT, we're not talking about swatting flies. SWOT is SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, our next session is going to be May 28th. It's yours truly. And we're going to be talking about how to use AI to boost your marketing efforts. I like to feature my little kangaroo AI that took me a while. The first time it generated, I think it had 7 legs and 3 ears. So I'm learning. I'm learning how to prompt good design, but we're going to be talking about that. And there you go. Please reach out, follow me on LinkedIn, follow Chris, again, Jordan and Jordan. For me, it's Joanne Gore 121. And let's see if you can head to the chat. There's we've shared all the links in the chat as well. And we went 4 minutes over the 45 minutes, but again, I am happy to hang out till the top of the hour. If anybody has any additional questions, please head to the chat. Let us know. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm glad you were able to make it. Thank you for joining us. And just let us know if you've got any questions. We are here for the next couple of minutes. And Chris, thank you. I know it's near the end of your day, and I'm going to go get some lunch soon. But I truly appreciate all of your help and guidance and coaching over the years that you've helped me immensely. I'm here to help pay that forward. If you're not connected to Chris, I highly, highly encourage. I know he's over in UK, but I promise he doesn't bite. He's had all his shots, so we're all good. But yeah, no, this has been a distinct pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for contributing to a dynamic chat. JGC team, yes, it is available as a recording, Lisbeth. As long as you registered for it, you can view the recording. I'm not sure if LinkedIn has changed that rule or not. That's a LinkedIn thing, not a JGC thing. But yes, it is available as a recording. And I'm hoping somebody on the JGC team is actually able to download the chat itself so that we've got a reference to it. Thank you, everybody. It's trade show season, so hopefully I'll see some of you on the show floor. Chris, one day we will actually meet live. But it wasn't live. But and again, folks, this just goes to show the power of LinkedIn. Friendships cultivated around the globe. I feel like Chris is a good dear friend of mine, and I've never met him in person. So although I suspect you are quite tall, Chris. You're oh. Well, I'm only 5'1", so by my standards, anybody's tall. um, USGB, Elizabeth. What does USGB stand for? I'm seeing those big letters in your in your chat there. Um, David, you are at My Graphics Canada. Wow, you've been successful in increasing my page hit. A few recruiters have reached out. Oh, wow, I'm so glad, David. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it all. Elizabeth, I'll give you USGP. He's fibbing, he's quite tall. Oh, Robin seems to know the truth. Oh, do tell, do tell. I love it. See it all. See when we're done with the official stuff is when all the fun starts to happen. I love it. Thank you. Uh, Chris, what can I say? Go enjoy the rest of your day. Uh, oh, there's supposed to be emojis. USA and UK. Oh, US, Great Britain. Love it. I'm Canada though. Where did Canada go? We need a little maple leaf in there. 2020. All right, my friend. I will chat with you soon. Everybody, don't forget, May 28th, we are going solo talking about AI. So how to use AI to boost your marketing efforts. Check out LinkedIn there, and please register, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody.